Hello everybody, this is Drmcbrick and we are here with part 2 of our retrospective on Figsdale, taking a look at what it used to look like and all the details that went into it over the past 3 years. And I'll be moving, of course, as we all know, and so I won't be able to do a Figsdale update for the next 4 months, but stay with me and stay with the channel. Join a membership if you like, kind of help us out or move and things like that. But whether you do or not, just stay with the channel. Every week I'm going to post a video on how to pack and how to move and how to store Lego and all that kind of stuff. So I won't be going away, but I won't be doing a lot of Lego videos in terms of my Figsdale because Figsdale is now taken apart. So let's take a look back at what it used to look like in part 2. So every set I get, like this Fort Legoredo, I try to embellish it with details. And I'll throw up some cards here on the screens for you to click on with some of what I think are some of the greatest videos showing the details of how I take these old sets and really make them into real buildings and such. Like the Western sets I've made into full-size buildings, each one of them from the classic Western series. So I'm going to keep that in my village, in my town, in my city. Now there's the log flume ride, the water ride that I'm still going to make in SixFigs. I promise I will keep that in. And I'm going to use my Persia sets to make a bigger roller coaster, especially right there with that big saw blade. There's going to be a roller coaster going through that gauntlet there, and the saw blade will come down and stuff like that. There's Joker Manor, ripe for making into a ride, and I tried to make it fun, make kind of a big tongue coming out there, and used a lot of details in terms of Batman, Joker, Riddler, all that kind of stuff. I even have a yard sale with Bat merchandise outside. So, you know, I take these sets and do exactly what you're supposed to do with Lego, is embellish on them, modify them, mock them up. Now, this thing was a beast, to be quite honest with you, to take apart. Honestly, it didn't come apart so well. It does come apart in 2 pieces, but those 2 pieces are very large, and to travel with, it would have just been unwieldy, so we actually had to take it apart. But you can see there how I added to the castle. Just a simple tile floor and a pattern makes a lot of sense for a castle like that. I promise to add more and more detail in the new... Oh, my goodness, what happened to William Tell? Oh, that's grisly. But anyway, I am going to add more detail because over the years, I've learned to build things in a more detailed way, such as this Privet Drive expansion that I did, for instance. A lot of people have been asking for instructions, so over the summer and spring, I'll make instructions for that and post those. But anyway, I have learned a lot of techniques, a lot of tips, and just, you know, talking with fellow AFOLs and watching videos and things like that on YouTube and elsewhere. I've learned a lot, so you will see a lot more detail. Just kind of like this hotel with all the penthouse suite right up there. You will see a lot more detail in my builds from now on. Now, I like to think that I had detail to begin with, but I'm going to put more detail into the new SixFigs and the new Figsdale. There's the Discoveryland Center, Legoland Discovery Center that I did. But for instance, like this, Apocalypseburg, I just didn't build the model. I actually built things around it, and I still have a Ninjago set, the Ninjago Dragon Gate, that I'm going to use as part of Apocalypseburg because it's very apocalyptic. So you will see that coming up as well once I get into the new studio in the summer and start to build and rebuild my city. And you can tell I'm just itching to because, you know, as I sit here voicing this over, it's painful. It's painful that I don't have access to my Legos. Now, here's something you don't see very often. The back of the buildings. We did film a few scenes back here over the years and some city updates. But anyway, so yeah, I'm going to develop the back side of Figsdale just as much as the front side. Now, Adrian did a great job with this train coming up. This old cargo train from a few years back, he made into a space train because I had developed this Lego Space Center using this Lego City space sets from, I think, 2018. And if you haven't seen the video, check out the card, because this is a very, very detailed mock that I had built. It's a space training center for astronauts and researchers, and it's extremely detailed. There's even an Easter egg coming up here that you'll see, and there's all kinds in this building. But see if you can see it here in the corner, and let me know what it is down in the comments. But there's the centrifuge there. That's where the astronauts train. There's even a sterile room where they can do some research. And then, of course, we have aliens, and we have to keep them somewhere. So we have a very, very fortified building for the aliens. And you see we have the chambers there, and there's computers back there and lifts and all kinds of stuff back there. So, yeah. We have a mechanical center where they build the rovers and such things like that, and they build it all of the mechanical type of stuff in that garage there. So yeah, so Adrian and I, we got up on a Saturday morning. We had our PJs on, as you can plainly see, and we basically just started tearing it down. And it took me about 5 days to tear down Figsdale and SixFigs and get rid of the studio, basically, and put them all into these big purple tubs. We had about 20 tubs. I have a backlog that took up 6 IKEA tables and stacked almost to the ceiling that are just boxes of the backlog that I'll be hauling out. And I may throw up a video sometime in the spring of my backlog as well. But we're going to be putting up a lot of videos, so I really encourage you to stick with us. Stick with the channel because every week I have recorded and taped a lot of footage from when we took all this down. And so I'm going to be using that to drop some tip videos. I'll do some live streams with some of my AFOL friends, some vlogs, and I have some parts hauls that are still coming in the mail that I will do live. So with that, this is Dr. McBrick signing out.